Hi, it's Jana, the Queen of Eliminating Chaos, and today we're wrapping up a three-part series on discussing Adiza's corporate life cycle, and this was written in 1990. So part one, I described what the corporate life cycles were, and part two, I shared what it was like to work for a go-go and adolescent stages, and part three, today I'm sharing what it was like in the prime stage. And so there was still, when I think back, there was still a lot of change, but I would say senior leadership at that time was stable and reorganizations were still happening, but we were reorganizing every couple of years at that time versus originally we'd been reorganizing annually. I think what's most interesting for me when I look back at that time was how parts of the organization were very mature and other parts of the organization were still immature. They were lagging behind in maturity. They were struggling to keep up. They were not predictable. And as you can imagine, this created a lot of conflict when departments depended on each other to get work done, because some departments were predictable and could plan their work forward, and other departments were unpredictable. They were still in a state of chaos, really. And so that led to, lack of trust. There was a lot of frustration, a lot of finger pointing and blaming. And I would say, empire building. People wanted to pull everything together because they didn't want to rely or depend on any other departments. And that created duplication, which costs money, right? Resources. So if this sounds like your organization, what should you do about it? I would say step one is prioritize maturing the other parts of your organization. Recognize that parts of your organization haven't grown up yet, and which parts of the organization are like that, and what can you do to help them. And you can implement low-hanging fruit and get some early wins. You don't have to do it all at once. Some small incremental steps forward will help you solve that problem. The other thing I would say is, in parallel, create cross-functional SWAT teams to rally behind solving problems without having to navigate the organizational politics. Don't let the organization not getting along stop you from solving customers' problems, stop you from innovating new customer solutions. And the last thing is, this is happening in your organization, I would evaluate your organizational structure and assess if it needs to evolve forward, because now maybe you're transitioning from one stage to the next stage. So hopefully you have found value in this, and that would be amazing. If this is giving you some insight and you need help, then reach out to the Queen of Eliminating Chaos.